This one's a little different from what we usually cover on this channel. In this one, I'm going to tell you about a couple of ways in which you can improve your productivity. Now, before I get into all of my tips, I want you to understand that I'm not sharing the normal stuff which you've heard everywhere, stuff like making a to-do list, making your calendar. Instead, I'm going to target more at the core problem. You might think that the tips which I will share in this video are going to be quite meaningless for your productivity, but trust me, these do work, especially if you do it in the long run. Before you consider these as just a waste of time, try them out for at least 2 weeks before switching to some other sort of productivity routine. Just as a disclaimer, yes, making to-do lists and calendars do help accelerate your productivity, but if you don't address the underlying problems first, then you might not be able to follow a to-do list or a calendar. So let's get started with the things which I have to share. So the first thing which I want to share, and many of you may disagree with this point, is to take care of your mental health. Now, I know that intuitively, mental health and productivity may not seem connected, but trust me, I speak from personal experience when I say that it is very deeply connected. If you maintain your mental health, you can get about an entire year's worth of work done in just a single month. I have personally experienced this as well, and this is the benefit you get if you maintain your mental health. Now, there are way too many things which you can do for improving your mental health, so I'm just going to give you a few action items. Step 1, make sure your sleep is good. Make sure you have good quality sleep. Now, your sleep doesn't have to be the regular 8 hours. Experiment with your sleep a little bit. But whatever experiments you do, try to keep them consistent for an entire week to actually see some sort of results. So, for example, for an entire week, you sleep for just 4 hours, but you're getting good quality sleep. If you feel great with just 4 hours of sleep, amazing. Continue doing that because that's your sweet spot. If that's not working for you, for another entire week, try something like 6 hours and then take it to 8 hours and just find the spot which is just right for you. Second thing to improve your mental health is to go out and just get some sunlight. Now, there are many scientific benefits for getting some sunlight exposure, especially early in the morning, but there are way too many to cover in this short video. So your action item is just go out and get some sunlight in your eyes. Next is movement. Just get some sort of physical activity, get some physical exercise in. This doesn't mean going to the gym and doing some heavy workouts. It could simply be a 10 to 20 minute walk as well. Number 4, take care of your nutrition. Now, I don't have to explain much about nutrition, just cut out all the junk food or at least lower it. If you're consuming a lot of sugar, reduce your sugar intake and just try to keep your diet healthy overall. The next productivity tip I want to share with you is waking up early. Now, if you wake up early, you get more time to yourself. I'll give you a personal example. I usually try and wake up at 4 a.m. I'm not consistent in it every single day, but the days where I do wake up at 4 a.m., I get a lot more done compared to the days where I wake up at something like 9 or 11 a.m. That's because you get a couple of extra hours in the day and then you can finish your work off quickly as well. For example, if you usually wake up at 9 a.m. and all the tasks which you have for completing, you might get them completed by something like 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. In my case, when I wake up at 4 a.m., I can get literally every single task of the day completed by 12 p.m. or latest by 2 p.m. And the rest of the day I have to myself. I can either put in some sort of fun activity in there, which again rejuvenates me, or I can put in some more work, get the next day's work done, or so on and so forth. So try to wake up early and get a head start to the day. Trust me, it's a game changer. Point number 4, get some good friends. And I mean friends who are not afraid of criticizing you. Of course, any sort of empty criticism is very harmful. It's detrimental to mental health. But if you have friends who are going to give you constructive criticism, they will criticize you, but they will also give you steps to improve. Those are the type of friends who are just going to take your mental health to whole new levels in a positive sense, obviously. Now, if you don't have these kind of people in your friend circle, you can join our Discord server. We've got a lot of folks who will keep you accountable. they will also give you a lot of constructive criticism. Now you can ping me in the Discord and ask me for advice, but just as a warning, my criticisms are quite harsh, but I also give you some action items that you can incorporate for improving. So these few 3 to 4 points are really going to help you elevate your entire productivity levels. I know that it seemed completely unrelated to what being productive actually is, but I mentioned in the beginning also that these are just fixing the underlying issues to your lack of productivity and procrastination. Now, before ending off, there's one more tip I would like to share, which is breathing. Practice a breathing technique called as box breathing that's going to help you manage your stress levels, which in turn is going to help you keep even better levels of mental health. Now, if you don't know what box breathing is, or you don't want to really take the trouble to go and figure out what it is, basically, I just want you to take deep and slow breaths and try to stay consistent with deep breathing throughout the entire day. So yeah, those are a couple of points which are really going to help you boost your productivity. If they don't work in the first 3 days, just remember I've told you already that it's going to take at least 2 weeks to see the results. But let's say that right now you're at 50x efficiency. After 2 weeks of implementing all of these steps, you're probably going to go to something like 200 or 250% of efficiency. That's how much more work you'll get done. So after 2 weeks, feel free to come back to this video and comment down below if following these routines have helped you or not, and join our Discord server as well, where we can keep you accountable.